Boeing? No, this time it's China. The People's Liberation Army Navy says its new carrier, Fujian, has successfully used electromagnetic catapults to both launch and recover 3 different fixed-wing aircraft: the Shenyang J-15T, the stealthy J-35, and the Xi'an KJ-600 early warning plane. This is important because Fujian is the first carrier outside the United States shown operating full electromagnetic launch and recovery. A big step up from the ski jump style used on China's earlier carriers. Let me explain in simple words what happened and why it matters. First, a quick fact. Fujian is China's 3rd carrier and the first one China designed and built with catapults that use electricity to launch jets. This design is called CATOBAR, which stands for Catapult-Assisted Takeoff but Arrested Recovery, and it's different from STOBAR carriers that use a ski ramp. CATOBAR lets carriers launch heavier planes or aircraft that need more fuel and weapons. Second, what are these 3 aircraft? The J-15T is an upgraded version of China's carrier fighter, basically an improved J-15. The J-35 is a newer, stealthier design China hopes will operate as a 5th-generation carrier fighter. The KJ-600 is a large carrier-based early warning aircraft. Its job is to fly high and give radar coverage so the carrier group can see faraway threats. Showing all 3 types using the catapults together is proof the ship and the planes can work in real operations. Third, what is an electromagnetic catapult and why is it a breakthrough? Older carriers used steam catapults or ski ramps to get planes into the air. Electromagnetic catapults, kind of similar in concept to the US Navy's EMALS, use electric motors and magnetic fields to accelerate an aircraft down the deck. The advantage is more precise control, less stress on the airframe, and the ability to launch heavier or more fuel-laden aircraft. That means, longer range, heavier weapons loads, and the option to operate planes like the KJ-600 that may not work from a ski ramp. Fourth, why do people care about first non-US carrier with this tech? Until now, only US Ford-class carriers had operational electromagnetic launch systems at large scale. If Fujian really can do reliable cats and traps, that is, launches and arrested landings, with different aircraft types, China narrows a key technological gap in carrier design. This is not just about one ship. It actually affects how fast and far China's carrier air groups can operate, and how they might contest sea areas in the Western Pacific. Fifth, the test does not mean everything is finished. Electromagnetic launch systems are complex and require big, reliable power systems and lots of testing. The US experience shows that EM systems can face reliability and maintenance challenges during development. It's not an easy road ahead. So, China will need more trials, fixes, and time to prove Fujian is ready for constant operations. In public footage, state outlets showed the full cycle of launch and recovery. But let's be honest, real wartime reliability is another level of testing. It's a whole different ballgame. Sixth, what are the strategic effects? A carrier that can launch a stealth fighter, the J-35, plus an AEW plane, the KJ-600, and modern fighters with more fuel and weapons expands China's ability to project air power at sea. It makes carrier strike groups more flexible. They can hunt submarines, defend themselves with airborne radar, and strike farther inland. That's quite a game changer, isn't it? For neighbors and for the US, this really changes calculations about what the plan or People's Liberation Army Navy might be able to do in the Taiwan Strait or the South China Sea. Seventh, let's talk about some practical limits and, the next steps to watch. Even with a successful demonstration, Fujian still has to prove it can handle sustained sortie rates. That's basically how many aircraft it can launch and recover each day, plus maintenance under rough sea conditions, reliable power generation for those EM catapults, and smooth integration of pilots, deck crews, and the new aircraft types. Observers will be watching closely to see if carrier air wings can routinely operate KJ-600 AEW sorties, and, how quickly the system can recover from any faults that come up. In short, China releasing footage of the J-15T, J-35, and KJ-600 Launching and landing from the Fujian using an electromagnetic catapult is honestly a pretty big milestone. It really signals a step change in carrier technology for the plan. And well, it proves the concept on China's first domestically built CATOBAR carrier. But, let's be clear. Technology demonstrations and actual routine operational ability are two different things. The Fujian still needs more testing and time before it can be considered a fully proven frontline asset. For now, the world should see this as a major marker of progress, not, the final finish line.